How's it going, everyone? How are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going over the Chelsea versus Man City game. It was a game. Alright, let's get right into the lineups. For Chelsea, we played a 4-3-3. Edouard Mendy and goal, Bencho on the left of the defense. Thiago Silva, Kurt Zouma, the center back duo. On the right, Azpilicueta. As for our midfield trio, we had Mason Mount, Conte, and Kovacic, and up top we had Pulisic on the left, Werner at striker, Ziyech at the right. As for our subs, we had Billy Gilmore, Kai Havertz, Hudson-Odoi, Giroud, Emerson, Jorginho, Rudiger, Kepa, and Tammy Abraham. Now, as for Man City's lineup, they played a 4-2-3-1. Zach Steffen and goals, Zinchenko on the left of their defense, Diaz and Stones the center back duo for them, Cancelo on the right, Rodri and Gundogan the center mid, the sort of holding midfielders in that 4-2-3-1. Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, and Silva / Sterling, they were kind of back and forth with each other. Played the center attacking mid roles, and then up top either Silva or Sterling. Like I said, they were moving back and forth during the game. As for the subs, of course, Aguero, Fernandinho, Mahrez, Carson, Mendy, Harwood, Bellis, Mbete, and Delap for them. Let's get right into the first half of this really frustrating game. We had early dangerous counterattacks. We weren't really penetrating too much into their defense, and that kind of set the tempo for the whole game. It was City's gonna absorb pressure, and then release, and we were gonna, press City, and get absolutely nowhere, which is exactly what ended up happening. We played right into their hand. But the first 10 minutes, I would say Chelsea were slightly the better side, mostly because City were gifting us possession. They were just letting us have the ball, which is kind of unusual for City, but smart from Pep. It was a really good decision from them to just kind of soak the pressure from us and then release. Our counterattacking defense has not been great, so naturally that is the way that you should go about it. Like I said, they gifted us possession, and in exchange, they were prepared to counter beautifully. Quite honestly, their counterattack game today was just great, and they used the R-press against us. In that regard, we got read like a book by City. They read us like a book, and they were ready for everything we threw at them. And it's funny because right before De Bruyne's 1v1, it was like the 15th minute or so, I had just thought that despite how good Chelsea started the game, City could easily break at any moment. You just felt it. You just felt that threat from City. You just felt that threat level from City. You knew something was coming, and sure enough, 3 minutes after that 1v1, Gundogan scores. It was a really nice shot, to be fair. It was powerful. Mendy got a touch to it, but he couldn't save it. It's too much power behind it. And City go up 1-0. And 3 minutes later, Phil Foden scores to make it 2-0 City. And for that stretch, they just enjoyed a ton of possession. They enjoyed what they wanted. They just kind of did what they wanted to do. Chelsea still had more possession at the half, but it honestly it didn't really feel like that because Chelsea just weren't doing anything with the possession. And I mean, right before the third goal, when De Bruyne scored, Chelsea did enjoy like 3 minutes or so of just some decent, good possession, some good forward play, and then, like I said, De Bruyne scores. It was a quick break. We had a free kick, and it falls to Conte, who was our last defender. He tries putting it back up, but it was just not a great hit from him. And like I said, he was the last defender. I forget who the ball went to when Conte kicked it, and they just sent it over. Raheem Sterling was over. He had a 1v1, and Conte was able to recover. Mendy did well to try to make himself big and try to prevent anything from happening. And Raheem Sterling had a chance. He takes the shot, hits the post, and De Bruyne's there for the rebound. That just goes to show how vulnerable we are on the counter. We are incredibly vulnerable on the counter. And throughout that 16-minute stretch between the second and third goal, we were just helpless bystanders. Like I said, though, we did enjoy some forward play before the goal, but we were just helpless bystanders, just watching a City just slice through our entire team. They just slice through everyone with these precise counters, these just precision counters. They were just so clinical when they would press up. And it started with Wolves. I've been saying this. a good counter-attacking team is gonna be our downfall. And it's been proven again and again in this stretch that we've had in these last 7 games where we've only won 1. A good counter-attacking team is gonna be our downfall. And sure enough, this is not the first time in this stretch that it's happened. And our counter-attacking defense is just getting exposed for how bad it is because of how we press. We press with no real care for our shape. We don't really keep our shape while we press, and therefore a good counter-attacking team will take advantage of the space that we leave behind, and that's exactly what City did, and they did it beautifully. They perfected just to perfection. They countered us. They did it. They did it beautifully, and that's just one of the many bad things that came out of having that 17 game unbeaten streak. It's great, we're not losing, but because we weren't losing, we weren't addressing the issues that we had. This was an issue that we've had. This isn't new. Our inability to really keep our shape while we're pressing has been an issue. I've pointed it out multiple times. It's been an issue. We just have not addressed it. And I said it. I said it in those videos. I said it. It's gonna come back to bite us. And sure enough, it's coming back to bite us. We're starting to get read like a book. Teams know exactly what we're bringing. We have no plan B. And it's coming back to bite us. Just like in this first half. 16 minutes and City were already up 3-0. 3-0. And after the third goal, yeah, we enjoyed some possession. Yeah, we did okay. But we are just so over-reliant on the cross that we just could not get anything. We just couldn't find any other way to try to break City. We've had a couple open field chances, but they weren't going to go anywhere. And it honestly just felt like City were giving us a lesson on how to work the ball in the open field. Because we struggled just so much with that. We struggled so much, and we just were simply outclassed in the first half. We were just simply outclassed. And that brings us to the second half, where absolutely nothing changed. We needed to be more aggressive when City had the ball, not be so lax. We weren't. We needed to be more confident in how we play. We weren't. We needed to play with a greater sense of urgency. We're down 3-0. We need to play with a greater sense of urgency. We didn't. And the second half as a whole just was really dull because Chelsea just refused to do anything. We just had no fire. We had no spark. We had no nothing. There was just no fight left in us. It's not. We came back from. Granted, it was against West Brom. We've come back from 3 goals down though. We've come back from that deficit. So for us to not even really try was just so disappointing. It was just incredibly disappointing. The whole second half was just. It was like both teams just really just wanted to just leave the stadium as soon as possible, with one team significantly happier than the other. City were in cruise control. Yeah, they had a couple decent chances. Like Rodri had a good header. It was like the 60th minute or something. Mendy made a great save, but at the end of the day, City were in cruise control. Chelsea just didn't put up any kind of fight, and both teams were just trudging on to the end. They both were just pushing, and it wasn't until Havertz put in a beautiful pass in this 92nd minute and Hudson-Odoi tucked it away that we finally had some real action from Chelsea. And unfortunately, Chelsea didn't show that kind of fight throughout the whole second half at all up until that point. So there was just no chance of us recovering from the deficit. If we had shown that kind of fight from the start of the first half, from the start of the second half, then maybe we would have had a chance. But there was no fight. There was no bite. There was nothing from Chelsea in the second half up until it was already too late. Up until the final whistle was about to get blown. It wasn't until that point that we finally decided to fight. Like, really? Come on, and that's how the game ended. We scored. It's 3-1, and that's it. Second half is done. There was really nothing crazy in the second half because Chelsea just refused to press. And overall, this just more so proves that we're not ready to challenge for that title. We're not. The team's not ready. We still need more time. And it also proves that City are back to their normal ways. They are favorites again. They can definitely pull this off this season. They've hit their normal stride. This is the City we knew when they pulled the back-to-back title runs. This was City. And they're back. They're back. And I'm not going to lie, though. I did not expect much from Chelsea in this game. You can go check my Premier League predictions video for this week. I said Chelsea were going to lose. And it's not me being overreactive, or it's not any of that. It's just City were coming into this game in really good form, and I figured that they would carry it into this game, and they really did. I wasn't expecting a ton from Chelsea in this game. I went in this game with low expectations, and it should say something that I still came out of it disappointed, because they just showed no fight. They just showed no fight. And I think there's just a sweeping lack of confidence in the team right now. I don't know. We just can't seem to shake it. Maybe a change in the lineup could help, but it just might be a funk that we just have to play through. We're just struggling right now. I did say, we're coming at teams with just the same game plan, and that does fall on Lampard's shoulders. It does. We're going against these teams with the same game plan again and again and again and again, and nothing's changing. So naturally, of course, we're gonna start getting read like a book. We're gonna just be so easy to read that they're gonna have a game plan and they know it's gonna work, because we're not gonna have a plan B. So we need some kind of changes. Maybe like I said, maybe in the lineup. Azpilicueta, for me, I'm sorry. I love him and I love everything he's done for the club, but it's Reece James time. As soon as he's healthy, don't even try to give Azpilicueta a chance. He was just so sluggish today. Thiago Silva was okay. Kurt Zuma was okay. He made mistakes here and there. Chilwell was decent. I did struggle a bit defensively, but he, for the most part, was probably the most solid part of our defense. Conte gave the ball away quite a bit. It's quite uncharacteristic of him. It's weird seeing him give away the ball so much. Kovacic had not a great game. He was pretty quiet. Mount, quiet. Werner. The front three actually were okay. Ziyech and Pulisic especially. But the front three was okay. Werner, still 12 games now, no goal. 12 games. But I don't know. It's really tough with him, whether to drop him or keep giving him chances, because it's not like he's playing poorly. It's not like the guy's playing poorly. He's really not. It's just he's not. It's that last bit that would get him the goal. It's just not switched on for him. So with Ziyech back, drop Werner, I guess, for now, and let Tammy or Giroud start. But yeah, this is a tough pill to swallow. We're just clearly not ready to hang with the big dogs. Not quite yet. But I still have confidence in this team. I really do. I genuinely do. I know how high our ceiling is. I still have confidence that we can just work through this funk. But we need some kind of plan B. That's the issue with us right now, is the plan B. We have no alternate game plan. We go in with the same game plan in every game, and it's coming back to bite us. These are problems that have persisted, and we're not changing them. I think the 17 streak of us not losing was probably one of the worst things that could have happened to us, because for all the issues that happened in that run, we just did not address them because we weren't losing. And now that we're losing, we're seeing everything. It's all rearing its ugly head. And I'm confident we can get out of this rut, but it's just going to be a bit of a tough stretch for us from here on out. But yeah, that was a rough game and a very disappointing game to watch. But if you guys enjoyed the video, this is a little low energy. I'm sorry. That was just a really poor showing from Chelsea. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Go check out the socials in the description. My Twitter is @BlueHermit1. My Instagram is @BlueHermit_. Please share the socials with your friends, family, everybody. Let the people know Blue Hermit's where it's at, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.